Welcome graduates, family and friends, faculty, and our COD administrators to the virtual pinning ceremony of the May nursing class of 2020. Who would have thought we would have ever had to convene this way? However, the pinning ceremony is traditionally a rite of passage for nursing, and this class certainly deserves to be celebrated. And we are here to celebrate their completion of the Associate Degree in Nursing program here at the College of DuPage. And now performing the national anthem sung by our nursing student graduate, Kristen Ricciardi.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Kristen. I'd like to take a moment to thank individuals for their leadership and support during these unprecedented times. Dr. Brian Caputo, President of the College of DuPage. Dr. Mark Curtis Chavez, Provost of the College of DuPage. Dr. Kirk Overstreet, Assistant Provost of Instruction. Mr. Jim Bente, Vice President of Planning and Institutional Effectiveness. Dr. Diana Del Rosario, Assistant Provost of Student Affairs. Mr. Walter Johnson, Interim Vice President of Institutional Advancement. Dr. Lisa Stock, Associate Vice President of Academic Affairs. Professor Dilys Gallio, Interim Dean, Nursing and Health Sciences. Professor Dr. Lorinda Dixon, Interim Director of Nursing. I would also like to thank our COD staff members who've played an integral role in these students' progression in our nursing program. Jennifer Shavola, Nursing Program Support Specialist. Melissa Erickson, Simulation Lab Manager. Pam DiNucci, Administrative Assistant. Janelle Walker and Kathleen Mack, Lab Assistants. Christy Calderaro and Linda Henson, Simulation Technicians. I would also like to thank all of our adjunct faculty and our full-time faculty. Julie Alvin, Sarah Bourne, Judy Lau Carino, Dr. Lorinda Dixon, Julie Garcia, Donna Canick, Ann Copel, Melissa McGovern, Rosa Colella-Melky, Katie Taylor, Dr. Anitha Saravanan, and Maureen Waller. A special thank you goes out also to Jim Nocera and Corey Kyle and the media team for their assistance in putting this virtual pinning together today.
I now like to take a moment to share a brief history of nursing and the nurse pinning tradition. Florence Nightingale, named for the city for which she was born in 1820, Florence, Italy, was an English nurse who trained and led nurses during the Crimean War in the mid-19th century. She worked to improve sanitation in hospitals, identifying the distinct correlation between cleanliness and improved health. In the end, these practices which she implemented reduced the death toll by 2/3. As a result of Florence Nightingale's influence, the importance of nurses training was recognized and hospitals began developing nursing programs. Known as the Angel of Crimea, Florence Nightingale was awarded $250,000 by the British government, which she used to establish St. Thomas's Hospital and the Nightingale School of Nursing in London. Graduate nurses of the Nightingale School were awarded a badge with the Maltese Cross as they completed their studies. Schools of nursing evolved, and eventually each of nursing designed and awarded a customized pin to its graduates. In the US, the first pin presented to a graduating class occurred at the Bellevue Hospital in New York City in 1880. Our graduate nurses have received their nursing pin, the same pin that continues to be worn by graduates of the COD nursing program for nearly 50 years. We acknowledge COD nursing graduates who've also returned to teach at the College of DuPage. Professor Rosa Kalala-Melki, Professor Dr. Janice Miller, and Associate Professor Dr. Anita Saravanan. Later in the ceremony, nursing graduates will join with all registered nurses here today to recite the Nightingale Pledge, which unifies all nurses. Now I invite nursing graduate Sarah LaPaglia, chosen by her class, to give the student class address, followed by thoughts from Professor Dillis Gallio, chosen by this class, to deliver the class faculty address.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sarah LaPaglia, and I'm the president of the College of DuPage's Student Nurses Association. I've thought about this moment many times over the past 2 years, and never in my wildest dreams did I imagine speaking to all of you virtually on this bittersweet day. I'd like to start off by saying thank you to our faculty, family, friends, peers, and anyone else that has been a part of our support system through our nursing school journey. To all of you that are tuning in today, thank you. I hope you are all safe and well during this historically difficult time. Over the past few months, our faculty has worked tirelessly to convert our practicum to an online format so that we can continue our nursing education and to prepare us for our transition into our new roles as nurses. Wow, guys, our roles as nurses. When the letters RN are added to the end of our names, it will mean so much more to us than just credentials. Individually, it signifies our unique journeys, trials, tribulations, and successes for ourselves, families, and friends. As nurses, it represents our strength, dedication, selflessness, and promise to serve our community to the best of our ability. The best way I can explain what I mean when I say promise to service our community to the best of our ability is to use the words of Albert Einstein. He once said, "Learn from yesterday, live for today, hope for tomorrow. The important thing is to not stop questioning." So what does this mean for us? To me, the words "learn from yesterday" are to remind us that we will never stop learning. We will learn from our patients, colleagues, achievements, and even our mistakes. Each day will bring us a different lesson. It's our job to figure out what that lesson is. It may be something as small as understanding how quick a smile or a reassuring touch can help heal, or as complex as deciding which answer is the most appropriate out of a group of appropriate choices. You have evolved in the past 2 years and will continue to grow and gain experience. The important thing to remember is that you are prepared for today and tomorrow because of yesterday's lessons. Live for today means living in the moment. For the past 2 years, we have been looking forward to living for today, starting our careers, and for many of us, enjoying not having to wake up at 5:30 to make that 6:15 a.m. bus to CDH clinicals. It can be hard for us to be present with the stress of studying for the NCLEX, job hunting, catching up with family and friends, and trying to find time for ourselves. I ask my peers to take a moment to reflect on this day and all that you have overcome. Once we are in the field, it may be easy for us as new nurses to self-doubt or compare ourselves to others. Remember to not let those thoughts distract you and be kind to yourself. Take a moment each day to reflect on your journey. You have made it. You are here. To hope for tomorrow helps remind us that each day is full of endless possibilities. We will be part of some of our patients' hardest times. We can provide hope to our patients through our nursing care by accepting and supporting them to the best of our abilities. To me, it's an honor to know that we will be changing lives every day through our nursing care. We may not be able to promise or guarantee, but we can assure patients that they're in the best hands possible, our hands. Strive to show patients their own strength and help them find the light at the end of their tunnel. My hope for all of you is that you do not stop questioning. What can I do differently to improve my quality of care? How can I approach this patient differently to make them feel safe? The nursing field is continuously evolving due to nurses asking questions. Our responsibilities, our standards, our implementations, and so much more were developed from someone asking a question. I think about the possibility that I could be implementing changes in my future practice because one of my peers tuning in today never stopped asking questions and changed the standards of nursing care. If you are sitting there and self-doubting, remember, it only takes one question. What would yours be? We are starting our careers with a strong foundation and knowledge to properly care for others. Remember to look for the lessons in each day, be present, continue to have hope, and go after what you want. I believe in each and every one of you. I look forward to seeing all of your success and accomplishments, and I'm extremely proud to have been your peer at the beginning of your nursing career. The journey ahead may be unknown for many of us, but the possibilities are endless. Congratulations, good luck, and God bless you all. Stay safe and well.
Well, hi, nursing students. This is kind of a bittersweet day. My two favorite times of year are graduation and pinning. I look forward to seeing you as I've seen you grow throughout the program. And it's sad because you have to leave. You have to leave the nest of COD and start your careers. I know that you're excited about that. As I was thinking about that, there's a story I wanted to read to you. As some of you know, I like reading a lot. So I'm going to read you a story, and then I'm going to kind of give you a send-off. So this is from the book called The Last Arrow. It's called Save Nothing for the Next Life. Mick Fanning, nicknamed White Lightning, is an Australian professional surfer. Fanning won the 2007, 2009, and 2013 ASP World Tours. He seemed to have surfing both in his blood and his destiny, but on July 19th, 2015, while he was at the competition in South Africa, spectators watched in horror while he fought off a shark as it tore into his ripcord and onto his board. Unbelievably, he escaped unhurt, but not unrattled. 6 days later, he returned to surfing. Then, as if fate were determined to have its way, another shark pursued him, and he had to get out of the water. Frankly, if it were me, I would call it career ending at that point. I would assume this was the universe's way of telling me I was no longer wanted in the ocean, but Fanning's response gives us insight into the kind of person who achieves at the highest level in his or her chosen pursuit of career. He said, "Surfing got me through the hardest times of my life, and so to turn my back on surfing wouldn't be right." In his own way, Fanning was telling us that he was leaving nothing for the next life. It makes me wonder, have I avoided the shark-infested waters of my own life and surrendered myself to standing on the shore? You don't have to be a surfer to find yourself in a perplexing dilemma and facing your greatest fears. I've joked that the two ways that I have always feared dying the most are drowning and being eaten alive, which is why I have not been particularly attracted to surfing. But this is what I have learned over a long, long life. There are many ways to drown and far too many ways to be eaten alive. We can become so afraid of death that we never live, so afraid of failure that we never risk, so afraid of pain that we never discover how strong we really are. You have to want to ride the wave more than you fear the shark. And while South Africa is known for its shark-infested waters, I can tell you that life anywhere is no different. When we settle for less, we settle for the safety of the shore. When we resolve to never settle, we might as well recognize that sharks are coming. My dear nurses to be, I have to tell you that I have seen you ride the waves. I have seen the shark-infested waters. I've seen the pain that you've gone through, and I've seen the courage that you display. You have made it through a very rigorous program. There's nobody here who is not proud of the people that you are and the people that you're going to be serving. What I need to tell you is that there's a lot of fear out there. There's a pandemic. You're going to manage a lot, but you are ready. You're poised. You're about to ride that wave. And I have to tell you, you've got nothing but people cheering you on. You have done amazing things. You have met amazing challenges. And I got to tell you, as your interim dean, as your teacher, as I've seen you grow, I couldn't be more proud. Thank you so much for allowing us to be part of your career, and I wish you nothing but success.
At this time, I invite Professor Maureen Waller and Associate Professor Katie Taylor for the Alpha Delta Nu National Honor Society induction. Maureen and Katie will discuss Alpha Delta Nu and read names.
Hi, everybody. I'm Maureen Waller, Professor of Nursing at the College of DuPage. Since 2012, the College of DuPage has hosted the Row chapter of Alpha Delta Nu. Alpha Delta Nu is the National Honor Society of Associate Degree Nursing. In order to be inducted into the Honor Society, students have to be in good standing at the college, have a GPA and degree required courses of 3.0 or higher, and have no courses earning less than a B in nursing. In addition, students have to complete a service project, and we had great plans for service projects this semester. We got a little start on them, and then came the pandemic. So this year, we're just asking that graduations, when things are safe, that students do a kindness in the community in honor of their induction into Alpha Delta Nu. At this time, I'd like to introduce my co-advisor, Katie Taylor, who will read the names of this year's inductees. Congratulations, everyone.
Thank you, Professor Waller, and welcome, everyone. I'm now going to announce our inductees.
Fadike Adekanye,
Haley Belvedere, Bridget Biker, Megan Del Santo, Madison Gassetta, Matthew Kursukski, Roanne Ambo, Patrick Patrilla, Laura Probst, Kristen Ricciardi, Shannon Setterberg. I want to congratulate all our new inductees into the Row chapter. I wish you the best of luck and welcome to our nursing family.
Congratulations, everybody. We're so proud of all of you.
The National Student Nurses Association's mission is to mentor students preparing for initial licensure as registered nurses and to convey the standards, ethics, and skills that students will need as responsible and accountable leaders and members of the profession. Founded in 1952, the National Student Nurses Association is a nonprofit organization for students enrolled in associate, baccalaureate, diploma, and generic graduate nursing programs. It is dedicated to fostering the professional development of nursing students.
These young ladies and gentlemen were elected by their classmates to lead and represent their class. Besides contributing to planning this day, they each had to complete 8 volunteer service hours to the community, which included a scholarship fundraiser, Feed My Starving Children, Northern Illinois Food Bank, COD's Field Pantry Food Drive, and the first Professional Development Nursing Panel event. Exemplified core values of the National Student Nurses Association include advocacy, leadership and autonomy, professionalism, care, diversity, and quality education. These following graduates will be recognized as a part of the Student Nurses Association Board, Names will be read by Dr. Janice Miller.
Sarah LaPaglia, President. Jake Engelbach, Vice President. Shane Solberg, Secretary. Philip Taborski, Treasurer. Event Planning, Fundraising Committee members, Mary Budner, Susan Etchard, and Laura Probst. At this time, I would like to recognize our graduates. The traditional candle or lamp lighting commemorates Florence Nightingale's history of helping wounded soldiers at night by candlelight.
I now invite Dr. Janice Miller to lead in the reciting of the Nightingale Pledge. With all nurses in our audience, please join our graduates in reciting the Nightingale Pledge.
I solemnly pledge myself before God and in the presence of this assembly to pass my life in purity and to practice my profession faithfully. I shall abstain from whatever is deleterious and mischievous, and shall not take or knowingly administer any harmful drug. I shall do all in my power to maintain and elevate the standard of my profession, and will hold in confidence all the personal matters committed to my keeping and all family affairs coming to my knowledge in the practice of my calling. I shall be loyal to my work and devoted towards the welfare of those committed to my care. I would like to thank all of you for joining us for this glorious celebration of accomplishment. Welcome to the profession.
Now I invite you to sit back and enjoy best memories with the spring class of 2020. Thank you, everyone. Please stay safe and healthy, and God bless you.